you serve life through you as God's source. And so being mindful of that each moment. And when you lose that mindfulness, you don't kick yourself. I mean, shoot, I'm bruised from kicking myself over the years. But it's being aware that, okay, let's just take a breath. And then you settle yourself down inside. You know, align yourself with Source in whichever way you have. I like to use this pillar going down to Earth core and going up to Source. That's a wonderful sparkly white with silver and gold glitters, and sometimes I bring lots of colors in and paint, you know, aquas and turquoises and maybe a pale yellow or a pale magenta pink. And you could add, you know, like the colors of the seashells, you know, that what's like abalone shells, or the mother of pearl, you know, pearlescent colors, like pearls are glitters, or opals, like opals, you know, where the colors change. So it's up to you. It's for you to be creative. And you can be mindful in the moment about what you're creating in your life and the choices you have. And then you're a much more powerful acting being. Then you're not only being in divine right order, but divine right action. When you follow that pull inside that calls you to a higher cause, or calls you to that divine right order where you can allow life to pull you in that direction, and it's not pulling you without your permission. It's you're allowing the connection with Source that we call divine right order, which then outpictures in what we call synchronicity, to co-create with you. And it all starts with being mindful, because if you don't stop a moment and breathe, then you won't hear, you won't feel, you won't sense. And those are, to be able to sense, feel, so very important to being mindful. I want to talk about the power of choice. I mentioned it earlier when I was talking some about mindfulness. And that's something that people don't realize the choice is. You know, we're used to saying, okay, what do you want to eat? We go, okay, we want this, this, this. And we think nothing about it. But there's power in that, because if you sense of what does your body want, are you mindful of the needs of your body or what your body can't handle? I've learned to, when I'm eating, or let's see, I had breakfast this morning and it was a breakfast buffet, so I'm going and saying, can I eat scrambled eggs? And I'm feeling no. You know, waffles, no. Bacon, sausage, no. Cantaloupe, yes, I can have some cantaloupe. And then it's like, how many pieces can I eat? You know, and I start this numbering. And the same with oatmeal. Can I have oatmeal? Yes. Can I have coffee? No, but I can have tea. It's in the moment communicating with yourself on what your needs are, and then choosing in the moment. And that becomes a power of choice. It becomes a very powerful communication device with your own body at that moment. You know, your body has consciousness, and we haven't always listened to it. And there are other choices we make throughout the day. What road do we take? Do I turn left? Do I turn right? Each path I decide to take will afford me different, I wanted to say different challenges perhaps, or different events, different happenings. I'll meet different people. I'll be traveling different roads of probability. Where will they end up? If I go through this town and decide to stop at the store and buy milk, or buy any type of groceries, I'm going to meet people there. And in my isness, or my journey to oneness, I radiate a certain amount of frequency. And so I'm going to meet people that perhaps, if I stay in a sense of oneness within myself, that I could actually have an effect on, perhaps my frequency will shake theirs a little bit, and they'll wake up and perhaps think to themselves, what is my mission here on earth? What am I supposed to be doing? If I turn right, I could end up perhaps at a hardware store or at another grocery store, at a clothing store, the object is that you're going to meet different people, you're going to be on different earth grids, you're going to be walking the land in a different area. And so it's very important when we have these synchronistic meetings up with people that you'll meet someone all of a sudden you recognize on some level, or you get that feeling of deja vu. Well, you wouldn't have been in that divine meeting place if you hadn't been mindful of that feeling inside, being relaxed, breathing before you start the car, breathing before you start walking, and then deciding what door is opening for me. Where am I being led to go? Do I turn left or do I turn right? And that is so powerful. It's not just something to be thrown away and think, oh, it doesn't matter, because it does matter. Now, when we talk about mindfulness, mindfulness also goes hand in hand with consciousness. Are we conscious in the moment? Are we unconscious? And that consciousness means that conscious is very similar to conscious awareness. Now, when we are in the moment and we're being mindful, we can look at how we are presenting ourselves in life. Because we all need a code of ethics. We all need a way of behavior, a way to operate life. Some people call them attitudes, some people call them aspects, some people call them facets, or other people just call it a mode of operation, or a way of operating in life, or ethics. And what does that mean? You know, we each have learned thoughts or feelings or ways of holding ourselves and perceiving life through it. But it's very important, I think, to hold that space within, perhaps, in actually taking some that we think have a higher frequency, I wanted to say a vibration, but that feel good to us, that make us feel empowered, and also ways that perhaps that we need to learn how to be in mastership. You know, mastership is an interesting word because sometimes it gets misused, because everybody is a master in training here. The whole purpose is that if we started out from God's source and then we individuated as we came down from source, and then there's a greater part of ourselves available to expand into as we go back up to source. So when we think about divine right order, or divine right timing, or divine right action, what we're really thinking about is expanding into that greater sense of ourselves so that we can perceive life differently. And in order to be able to grow, and as we do our spiritual practices and bring in the silver white light, the turquoise light, all those wonderful colors, as we attempt to be that source pillar connected to source, how do we stabilize that frequency in our biofields?